This is going to be my review of Divi version 3. Hi, my name is Adam from WPCrafter.com, where I make WordPress videos that are easy to understand because they're made for non-techies. If you like the content in this video, I'd like to encourage you to maybe click on that subscribe button. And if you want video notifications, there's a little bell off to the right. You can go ahead and click on that, and YouTube will let you know when I have new videos uploaded. So this video, we are going to talk about Divi 3. If you are on this video, I'm assuming you probably already know what it is, and you're just looking for some maybe opinions and maybe a review on Divi to see if it is right for you. And I want to welcome you if that's why you are here. So let's just get into some of the details of Divi. I do have an outline of this video. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video. It's going to give you pros, and it's also going to give you cons. It's going to give you a lot of food for thought before you choose to go the Divi route. And but I did want to warn you that it's going to be a little longer than normal, and I've got my little notes over here. Right, Divi is a page builder, but it also comes packaged up with a theme. So most people don't really just use it as a page builder with different themes. They tend to just use Divi with the Divi theme. So a lot of times when you hear the word Divi or someone talk about Divi, they're talking about the theme and they're talking about the page builder. And Divi has been around a very long time, and it's traditionally been a very popular platform to build your website on. Now, with a older platform like that, there comes pros and there comes cons. I've noticed that with sometimes when you have a newer type of maybe a page builder, it's coded to a different standard than say something that was built 4 years ago and they're just making improvements on. And so there's definitely pros and cons. And Divi is actually one of those plugins or one of those website building tools that people either really, really love it or they really, really hate it. And there's actually a vocal group of people out there. And so I'm going to try to bring some clarification to that as well. So first, let's look at Divi. They actually just recently redid their website, and their website is absolutely beautiful. What's nice about Divi is it has an extremely innovative, probably the most innovative front-end web page building experience. But what's also unique about them is they also have a back-end page building experience. I'll show you what that is in this video because everyone likes to build their websites differently. And so I think it's actually really a plus that they have a front-end and a back-end editor for building their websites. Now, what is really nice about Divi is their pricing model. So if you go to their website, I have a link down below. They are one of the few themes out there that still have a lifetime option. There's been this migration for themes and plugins to have yearly licenses so that it's a better business model for the developers. But Divi, they actually recently had a price increase right here for the yearly access. It's $89 now. It used to be, I think it was $69. And it's good that they increased it because they've definitely brought way more value with what they give you. And the lifetime access is $249, and it's just a one-time fee. Now, this purchase includes a lot more than just Divi. It includes the Divi theme with the built-in page builder, the separate Divi page builder, and it includes some plugins that they have and some other themes that I don't even know if they actually do anything with their other themes, but it includes all that, and it includes support for everything that you purchase with them. Now, let me get on to some of the juicier parts of Divi, and that is people love it or hate it. So if you go to Google and you type Divi Review, and this is probably not fun for the Divi developers, the very first result is this website right here from someone that is very well known in the whole WordPress ecosystem. And it says the title of this post on his page is, "If you use the Divi theme with WordPress, it better be forever." So let me just go ahead and click into it here. I actually think I read this when it first came out. So basically, here is the big negative with Divi, depending on what you're using it to build. And that is if you build a page with Divi and you say want to stop using Divi, this is what your page is going to look like. I'm going to scroll down to it right here. So say you built this beautiful page right here, and then you get rid of Divi, this is what you have, a bunch of gibberish. You've got these short codes and there's little bits of the actual stuff you created in there, and this is just kind of what you're stuck with. And this is actually probably because of the age of Divi. So you have two other more recent page builders. That's Elementor, which came out about exactly a year ago. They just had their 1-year birthday. And Beaver Builder, which came out in 2014, they don't have this issue. With those two page builders, if you ever want to stop using it and you click on disable, it will go ahead and give you all your content back, and it will look okay. I mean, you'll still have your text in there, and you'll have your links, and you'll have your images and all that kind of stuff. With Divi, you're left with something that you really can't use. And this actually isn't the only post on Google. When you do a search for Divi Review, you'll see right here, here's another negative one. And so you either have ones that are very positive or very negative. Now, you can immediately disregard a lot of the positive ones from generic websites like this result here, winning WP right here, WP Superstars, because these are people that are part of the Divi affiliate program. They're only going to tell you the best stuff about it, right? Because they're trying to sell it to you. So you've got this positive and negative, and it's like, who the heck do you listen to? And you got to kind of listen to both sides, unfortunately, because of the way that it is. And by the way, my link down below to Elegant Themes is an affiliate link as well, but I'll tell you the good things and the bad things, because I think it's important to know what you're getting into. I'm not afraid to tell you if something's bad. So you've got this love-hate relationship with Divi. And so the problems with this whole short code issue that Chris Lemma points out right here is that twofold. You're kind of locked in for life, number one. Now, this actually is not that big of a deal, okay? I'm not going to be a drama queen about it. If your website is a brochure website and there's only a few pages on it, it's not that big of a deal. If Divi's your preference, it's not that big of a deal if you wanted to stop using Divi and use something different, because there's only a few pages that you need to recreate, and typically if you're redoing your website, you would do that anyway. So I think some of it is a little blown out of proportion. However, there could be potential performance issues with these short codes that it generates on all of these pages. So my best advice with the short code issue is, if you're building just a business website, a brochure website, if you want to use Divi, just go ahead and use it. That being said, for me, I would actually be scared to death to use Divi for my purposes. If you go to my website, I've got hundreds of pages of content, and it would scare the hell out of me to start using Divi and then being stuck using Divi. So for my personal purposes, that's probably why I wouldn't end up using Divi. I can't risk having performance issues. I'm not saying that I would have performance issues, but I can't even risk having performance issues on my website. I need that thing to load lightning quick, and I don't want to be locked in. I want this flexibility. I've had websites for so many years, been building them for so many years. The thought of being locked into something scares the hell out of me. And that's why, one of the reasons why I wouldn't use it on my website. That doesn't mean I wouldn't use Divi. I think it's a great option for smaller brochure websites, and that's why a lot of people use Divi for. Now, there's also another pro and con type of deal with Divi from what I've noticed in my own experience. With more modern page builders like Elementor and Beaver Builder, it's easier to do a lot of things, where with Divi, in the perfect example is right here when you go to their YouTube channel, which is fantastic, by the way. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below to their YouTube channel. It's filled with amazing tutorials. You've got Mac here. I've never met him, but I've watched his videos. Great video creator, great at explaining things. And this is the head guy at Divi. His name is Nick. seems like a great guy. I've never met him either. But here's the deal. If you watch some of these tutorials, it's very hard to do things, meaning a lot of these custom things that you may want that you can do easily with other page builders, you have to add custom code to all sorts of different locations in Divi, and it just can become a little overwhelming. I think as far as a page builder that requires the least amount of custom code, that would definitely be Elementor. And you actually do have a lot of core Divi users that are now starting to use Elementor. I'm not saying that's why it is. I actually don't know why it is, but that is one of the reasons why with Divi, some things are a little harder to do. However, Divi is also the most innovative. Let's start saying some good stuff here. Divi, I think, is the most innovative page building or website building platform that is currently available. So in one sentence, I'm saying use Elementor, and now I'm going to say some positive things about Divi because I think there's amazing things about Divi. Let's take a look at some of these features right now that I just think are just so innovative. And my criticism a moment ago about having to add all this custom code, they're making strides in that, and I believe they're headed that direction, and I'm going to show you that right now. So when you head over to their blog, and they've got a fantastic blog, a lot of it is these generic articles really that I don't find a lot of value in, but there's most of them though are very good stuff in them. And right here, this is actually the most recent thing. You'll see the different theme updates. They make a video and they have a really good post about it. So I want to look at some of these theme updates. Now, it's important to note that Divi 3 came out, I think it was last September. So we're coming up to a year that it has been out, and it was a drastic change, a whole new way of thinking of a front-end interface, and it's super innovative, especially today, and it's absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. So let's go ahead and take a look right here. So when you look at just the category on their blog for their theme updates, let me scroll to the bottom here. Let's see, right here. So here it's being announced on September 7th. Then October 18th, they're talking about a new feature that's added. Then you take a look right here and you don't see anything really significant as far as a post or a notification here till March. So there was many months, I think, that they used to let the dust settle with Divi so they can put the pieces together to really start making it shine and improving it. So let's take a look at some of those innovative features right now. And of course, I am going to show you Divi, but this video is mostly my take and my opinions on Divi. So they were the first page builder that I came across that added shortcuts. And what is shortcuts? Well, when you're in the builder interface, there's a little keyboard shortcut. So there's one to save, and there's all these copy and paste. You can do some things like that. They are the first ones that came out with that. And I think it was amazing when they came out with it. Now, the other page builders have caught up with this feature, but at the time, I was really blown away at the speed of which you can build stuff. So copy and paste and all that, these keyboard shortcuts that you're used to already, it just really leveled up the page building experience. Let's take a look at the next feature. These should be in order. This is the wireframe view, and let me scroll down. So this is what Divi page building experience used to be. It used to be all back end in this, what they're calling a wireframe, but it was essentially just a back end interface. So you see right now they're in the front end interface, but you can click a button and then you can see it in this wireframe mode. And ironically, a lot of people prefer this. So it's the only builder that gives you the option, that gives you the choice how you want to edit it. Do you want it to be in the back end or in the front end? And I think that's actually very cool to offer that option to people. This right here, when it came out, this saving, this automatic saving and revisions, this was pretty game changing when this came out, and this was back in March. Now, a lot of the page builders have caught up to this as well. So essentially what it does is it's a very easy interface for saving and reverting back back to other mistakes that, or if you make a mistake, you can revert back. And it actually has probably the only page builder, aside from Thrive Content Builder, that actually has an easy undo, where there's one click of a button and you can undo a change that you made. So this right here is that, and there's also some protections that it has to back up things in your browser, what you're doing in case your internet gets cut off. Now you can see this post is from May 11th, and this is, I think, where they really started ramping the improvements up. And this is only a few months ago, and I think they're just going to continue and continue and continue. So when I scroll down here, you can see that essentially what they did is they reorganized all of these settings for each of the modules that you're going to place and use in Divi. They totally reorganized it in a very logical way. I'm going to show you this, and I think it's pretty amazing. Before I thought it was a mess. Now I think it's genius how they're doing this. They really made it more efficient to use these different modules. Okay, we only have a couple more of these. Right here, the documentation, they have probably have the very best documentation system, and I think they actually have it in the plugin, so when you're using the plugin, there's documentation you can easily jump into. This right here was recently released, and I was blown away because this is a modern design feature, and I'm glad they added this. Now, before, this was only a feature in Elementor, so they are actually catching up to Elementor, but essentially it allows you to use gradients and different design features like that throughout your website, so you can have color overlays that are gradients and stuff like that. It's a very modern design technique, and I think it's great that they added this. And I think I'm on the last one right here. This right here. So this just came out. They've totally kind of redid the contact form module that's built into Divi. So what does this mean? This means the individual modules that you can use to build out your pages, they're now starting to hit that and make improvements there. I think this is amazing. So essentially what they did before, the contact form module was weak, and I mean, to be in their defense, it's even weak with like Beaver Builder. It's very, very weak, just like it was in Divi. But now you can create fields, you can create different field types, you can lay it out, you can style it, you can do some really nice things. You can see here, we've got radio boxes, you can even have conditional fields. So essentially what this means is now you don't need to go out and buy a more powerful form plugin. You could just use what you already have with Divi. And I think this is kind of an indication that all of the modules, now that kind of the dust is settled on version 3 of Divi, all the modules are going to start getting some attention. So this is one of the things I really like about Divi. So now I'm going to jump into Divi, show you the interface briefly. I'm not going to go through the interface that much. You could actually come over to their website right here, and they have like a demo that you can use if you wanted to test out the interface. And then I'm going to talk about how Divi stacks up against the competition. So here is my website. I have Divi installed here. I'm going to go to pages. Well, first of all, here's their options panel. So if I go here to click on Divi, they have a really beautiful options panel. It's like Divi throughout. And so you can see here, there's a lot of the settings that you could change and have control over the theme. And the theme is actually very feature deep, meaning you can really control a lot of the elements of your theme. So here's just the settings panel, and you've got the automatic updates. You just pop in your username and your API key right there. But really a lot of the theme settings you're going to find in the customizer, and I like that it's all in the customizer. So if you go to appearance and then customize, you're going to see all these customizer options that you get with the Divi theme, and you can pretty much control everything, every color, every font size, everything. You can control it right here with all of these options. It's very, very deep what they give you. Oh, mobile styles, I didn't realize you had that right there. So let me get out of here and just jump into the builder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on pages. I'm going to click on home page, and then right here, so this is what that back end editor looked like right here, which they called the wireframe mode. But then if you want to use the visual builder, you can just go ahead and click right here, and it's just so beautiful, the eye candy of how it just transitions you around. And so the page building experience is much like Elementor, where you have your section, and inside your section you have rows and you have columns, and inside there you would drag and drop your modules in. So essentially, if you want to add something new, you could just go ahead and click on this plus right here. When you hover over a section, you can see it's all kind of color coordinated there. So the blue that you see on the top left, that means it's a section, and then the green there, that is one of the columns, and then the gray right here is the settings for the actual module that you've put in there. So you can see when you hover over it, it just tells you right there, and you can click on it, you can move it around, you can do all that kind of stuff. And the kind of all of the main settings for the page, I guess you could call them the parent settings, they're in this little dot right here where you can click on it and then it just reveals itself. And this is where you have import export ability, so you have full portability of any of your designs. And there's several third-party marketplaces selling Divi layouts. Right here is your revisions and your editing history, and you can jump back and forth in the different revisions that you have. Right here are specific page settings. Right here, you can clear everything on the page. Right here, you can save this as a template to your library. And then right here, you can load a page from your library. I don't have any of them in here right now. And then right here, you have your different views. So right here's your desktop view, but you could switch to mobile or tablet view just by clicking on the appropriate icon. Here's that wireframe view. I think it's really neat. You click on it and then bam, this is it in a wireframe mode where you can just move things around. So you see that how it is right here with the color code and everything. There's this cohesiveness with it. So I can just click on that and get out of it. So you just go ahead and click on the plus, and then it starts asking you the questions. And I really like the flow of the page builder. So you can choose for this new section, how you want it laid out. So I can click on regular, and then it's giving me my column options. So if I just wanted to do a 3-column blurb right there, and it's done it all for me, and then it immediately takes me here to insert a module. Now what I like is you can really move these menus around, not when you're adding a module, but when you're in the settings, and I'll show you that in a moment. So one of the different modules that you'd probably use is maybe what they call a blurb, and that's where you just have some text right here and an icon and stuff like that. So here is the settings panel that pops up for the module. Now you can move it wherever you want, but what I like is you can just go like this and you can let go and it just snaps itself on the corner. This is actually something I've asked Beaver Builder to implement. But you can also resize it right here. So if you wanted more space, you can easily do it like that. You can move things around. You can copy and paste everything. That's, I think, one of the most innovative features right here. So I can literally right click and it has this custom menu that pops up where I can undo, redo, save, disable, lock, copy. And this is one thing that is a massive time saver. You can copy the style. And so what that means is if I have two of the same modules and one of them I've changed colors in it and I've changed different styling things and I've made it look beautiful, then normally you got to click on the next one and do it all over again and click on the next one and do it all over again. But with Divi, you could just copy and paste the style right across, and it's just pretty amazing. So there's a lot more to this user interface. I will probably be making more videos on it. I am actually building a course on Divi that will cover all of these things and tie that into my website building system that I talk about. In fact, actually, if you did purchase Divi through my link down below and sent me a copy of your receipt, I gladly enroll you in that course. It's going to be probably $149, but you'll get it for free if you did purchase Divi through my link down below. So this wasn't meant to be like this in-depth tutorial on how to use Divi. There's a ton of those. You can practice it on their website. I just wanted to talk about Divi, and now I actually wanted to talk about how Divi stacks up with the competition. So right now, the three main page builders as I see it are Divi, Beaver Builder, and Elementor. On my site right now, I'm using Beaver Builder. I've been using it for about 1.5 years. I'm not changing it. I'm using it there. I have some sites with Elementor right now. They're doing exciting things, Elementor. I really think the only negative with Divi that I see is the short code issue and how you get kind of locked in. Another negative I have heard with Divi is there are issues when they push out updates. So some websites end up breaking and it becomes a support issue. But that actually happens a lot right now with Elementor as well. I think as far as the most reliable page building platform that you could choose for yourself, or if you're building websites for clients, that's absolutely without a doubt going to be Beaver Builder. It's by far the most reliable page builder that there is. Now, the most innovative page builder is going to be a toss-up between Elementor and Divi. They're both doing some really neat things. I think I would give the slight edge to Elementor. On terms of cost, Divi is the most affordable, most attractively priced page builder because they have that lifetime option and it's only $250. Whereas Elementor, if you want unlimited websites for Elementor, it's $199 the first year and then $100 a year after. With Beaver Builder, if you want the theme and Beaver Builder, it's $199 and then it's $120 each year thereafter. So as in terms of cost, Divi is pretty awesome, and they've got everybody beat in terms of cost. Now, I really like Divi. I really like where it's going. And like I said, it's great for brochure websites, smaller websites where you can sit there and think, if I had to switch and redo it over again, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I really wouldn't suggest using Divi to build out a larger website with a lot more content, because that prospect of changing is a real scary one. So anyways, these are my thoughts on Divi. I want to hear what your thoughts are down below. Hey, let's all be nice on this one. We got this love-hate thing going on, so I'm sure I'm going to get comments saying, wow, this is great. I love Divi, and oh, I hate Divi. Let's just all get along on this one. Why don't you share your comments down below if there's something I'm missing out or accidentally leaving out? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll have links to everything in the show notes, in the video description box. And remember, if you did want to purchase Divi, you can click on the link down there as well. And if you did make that purchase through the link, I would just give you access. I'd be happy to give you access to the upcoming Divi Essentials course that's going to be on my website. All you'd have to do is send off a copy of your receipt to me. All the instructions for that are on my contact page. Just click on Course Access. All the instructions are going to be right there. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and I want to hear what you think down below.